friends, happy Tuesday. If you are new here, I am Chazles Renee, and thank you so much for being here. If you are a returning subscriber, hello my loves. I hope you're all doing well this Tuesday, and thank you for joining me in another video. So yesterday we designed this steampunk inspired room that I am standing in for our newest companion, our little robot son. And I call him my little robot son because he reminds me of my son in an odd way. Probably just the fact that he's really cute, so I call him my robot son. But anyways, we designed this steampunk inspired room for him. But Chazles is going to need a cute steampunk dress to go along with them. So that is what today's video is going to be all about. It is going to be a touch of magic step-by-step tutorial of me making a steampunk inspired dress. So if you love steampunk aesthetic and if you love custom dress designs, then keep on watching. So this is going to be a brand new dress. It's going to be my first time designing it. I haven't made this in the past. It's just going to be brand new, so that means a lot of trial and error and fitting pieces together. So bear with me as we see how long it's going to take me to make this dress. But let's get started. So I already have just chosen the basic white long sleeve dress as the base of our dress, and that is what I have here. And then from there I want the dress to appear like it's coming off the shoulders. So for that we are going to need to make that illusion, and with that it's going to be this straight horizontal looking line, and we are going to again make that the closest to match our skin tone as we possibly can. And once we have that color picked out, you're just going to bring it all the way up to the base of her collarbone so that it's going to look something like this. Once you have that tweaked out to where you want it to be, then we are going to do the same thing to the back. I'm just going to move it a little more to the right, slightly. Alright, so we're going to be adding 2 more pieces to the back, and I say 2 more because for some reason we can't just have one straight line go all the way across her back. It's going to have to be in 2 separate pieces, which is fine. And then again, you're just going to bring that up as much as you can get it brought up, and you can stretch out as much as you can, but you want to make sure you can't see flesh colored fabric underneath her armpit, which I can on this one, so I'm going to shrink it back, and if we need to add more fabric then we will just do that. Alright, let's see if that's better. Alright, that's better. So once we have that on her back, we're just going to copy and paste that over to the other side, and you're just going to go into that box cube looking option, and then you're going to click this little button here that has the 2 circles on both sides. And then once it's placed there, it's going to look like this. And then we obviously have to cover that white spot on the top of her shoulder. My dress making tool is glitched to where whenever I try to place a piece of fabric onto that top shoulder part, it's going to like make a little piece of that fabric show on the back of my dress, and it's unfortunate. I don't know why it just all of a sudden started doing that. I don't know if it was just with the new update it kind of messed it up, but hopefully they fix that soon, and hopefully that isn't going to be the same problem you guys are going to have when you're making your dress. But we're going to see if that happens. So to cover the top part of her shoulder, we're going to be using the semicircle pattern, and it should already have that little flesh color picked out for you because that's the last one we used. You're going to shrink it down as much as you possibly can, and even then it's not going to be shrunk down enough. So we're going to go back into that cube box setting, and we're going to be clicking on the world little icon, and then once we do that, it's going to shrink it down a lot more. And then now we're going to be placing that on the shoulder and turning it so that it is going to cover that little bit of white. Now, once you have this side done, we're just going to copy and paste it to the other side. Hopefully, it's not going to leave that mark like it usually does, but guys, okay, so keep watching to the bottom of my dress, and I'm going to hit copy paste, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Now there's like a little piece of cream color on the back of her dress, which is really unfortunate. I don't know why it does that. Hopefully it doesn't do that to you guys, but I'm going to have to fix this one. That way that little piece of cream isn't showing. Or I might just keep it like that because I'm pretty sure once we add a couple more fabrics, it's going to cover over that. So let's hope for the best, and let's see if that happens. Maybe it'll just get covered up with the other parts of fabric. But now that we have the front and back part looking like it's kind of going off of the shoulder, and I'm sorry, I don't know why, but do you guys watch Riverdale? I don't know why, but my character looks a lot like Veronica from Riverdale. I don't know if it's just the face that she's making, but that is instantly what I thought when I just looked at her face right now. She kind of looks like Veronica from Riverdale, which is pretty funny. I don't know. That's really random, but yeah, that's the thought that I got when I looked at her face. But anyways, now that we have the front part of her dress done and the back, now we want to do the corset portion. We're going to have to add a little bit of fabric to the upper part of her shoulder area, just because we don't want it to make it seem like it's just her dress is like weird and it looks like half of it is hanging off the shoulder without anything, how do I say, splitting up the two. So we're going to be placing another piece of fabric around her upper part of her arm, and for this I wanted to leave it white just because I mean it would be the easiest, but if you guys look, once I shrink it down, I don't know why I went back to default, once I shrink it down, it's an off-white. It's a totally different white from the base of our dress. So I had to scrap that idea, and I'm going to have to make it black, which is okay because part of our dress is going to be black. It's going to be a color combination of black, brown, and white. So it works out. So we're going to keep it black, and then we're just going to put that around her arm. And this is just going to be the separation between where the dress meets her off the shoulder area. And we're going to stretch it out as much as we can. That way we can just cover as much of the back as we possibly can, so that it looks like this. Perfect. So once you have that side done, you're just going to again copy and paste that to the other side, and this is just to split up where the dress is going to meet your off the shoulder part. But if you can see, we're going to need to go a little higher, and for that we're just going to add another black line, shrink it down as far as we can, and then again just do the same thing but bring it a little higher. And if we need to stretch it out to make it look more rounded, we will do that as well. So I'm just going to bring it a little more higher, and then I'm going to stretch it out a little bit more because we want it to cover that part that's showing. That might actually be a little too far. Let's see if that works. Alright, perfect. Looks like it's going to cover that area. And I'm just like touching base, just kind of tweaking it so it meets up a little more. Alright, so it's going to look like that from the front and the back. And then once you have that, we're just going to again copy and paste that onto the other side. Perfect. So now it looks like it is coming off the shoulder, but again, there is an end point. So it doesn't look like it's just all one big put together piece. So let's back out and just get a glimpse of how it's going to look. Alright, so we have the shoulders completely done and the top of the dress. So the next part is going to be the corset. So in order to make the corset, we are going to do what we did with the Snow White inspired dress, and we're going to have to be using 2 square pieces. And I'm going to be making those pieces brown because I want my corset to be brown. And I'm going to be using the darkest brown that we have available. So it's going to be this one here. And then we're going to bring that all the way up. And you don't want to bring it all the way up to her base. We're going to be adding more fabric if we need it. But we just want to bring it up so that it's over that waistline. And then just push it all the way back as far as it can go. I think like right there. And then once you have it placed there, we are going to hit that duplicate button again, and then it should copy paste over to the other side. And for me, the gap in between is pretty good where it's at. I typically want a lot of the under slip showing. That's just the way I like it. If you guys don't want that much of the under slip showing, then you can just zoom in and it can shrink it down a little bit more. But that is how I like it, so I'm going to leave it there. And then now if you see, we need a little piece of fabric just to cover the top of her chest area. So again, we're just going to add another square, and again just keep it on that brown color, and we'll probably be able to shrink this one down a little more. And then we're just going to line up this side to the other one as much as we can, with a little bit of that upper white part still showing. Alright. So it's going to look like that, and then once that is done, you're just going to again copy paste that one onto the other side. And there we have it. Alright, so now I want to incorporate that black onto the corset. So for that, we're going to make it look like it is kind of a black collar around the corset connecting to her upper shoulder area. So for that part, we are going to be again using this little horizontal line, our favorite little piece of fabric that just works everywhere. And we're going to turn that black, shrink it down really small. And then we're going to put this connecting to her shoulder area. So, like right. And you can always stretch it out too to make it a little larger. I think like right there looks pretty good. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. And then from there, copy paste it onto the other side. And then now we don't want it to look bare like that. And we want it to be kind of covering a little bit of the white showing on the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this triangle piece in fabric, and it should already be black. That's as small as it goes down normally, but we need it shrunk down way more smaller than that. So we're just going to go again into that cube option, and we are going to hit the shrink button. Once you have that done, we are going to make it look like there is a little bit of a flap coming down her dress, and that is just going to be the collar part of her corset. And you'll probably need to like tweak it around a little bit. Bring it up some. Let's see how that part looks. Alright, let's copy and paste it and see how it looks onto the other side. Perfect. So now it looks like there's a little bit of a collared flap on her corset, and that's what we want it to look like. So once we have this part done, we are going to have to do the same thing to the back. So for that, we are going to be covering all of this white part, and we're going to be using the brown square again. There we go. Alright, so we do need you square. So the square works better. Alright, once we have that side done, we gotta copy and paste it to the other side. Perfect. So now we have the back part done. And then we need the black on the top part. But I don't know if we're gonna have enough fabric. So let's hold off on that part. And let's see. Alright, so next up is the corset part of the dress where it ties, and to make that effect I always use these little Nightmare Before Christmas stitches. So they're going to be these ones here, and then I want these guys to be black. So let's change it to black, and this is just going to mimic the tie in the front of her corset. And it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to look perfect, but I mean, when you're tying corsets, they don't always look perfect, let's be honest. So like right there, and then I'm just going to make it look as much like it's tied as best as we can. No, why do you keep doing that? Like right there. Okay. Let's add another one for the bottom part. Alright. And again, it should already be on that default color that we last used. And this is going to be for the bottom of the stitch. Like right there. Perfect. I think that looks pretty good. And again, it's not going to look perfect, but when you're tying a corset, it doesn't look perfect. The tie doesn't look perfect. But alright, we got the front of the corset. I want to add some lace to it first for the base. And then that's kind of going to give us an idea where to put the other one. Whoa, really big. We don't need it that big. Oh yeah, I like this part better. And I'm going to just enlarge it a little bit. Perfect. Let's copy paste that to the other side. Alright, now we can add two of the smaller ones on top. Shrink it down as small as we can. Now let's turn it a little more. I feel like right there. And I'm just moving it to where I like it. Wherever you guys like it, you keep your lace there. Wherever you think it looks good. Alright, I think I like that. Let's see. I'm gonna copy and paste it onto the other side. Oh yeah, that looks really cute. Okay. So there is the lace work on our corset. And now that we have the corset done, we're going to add the brown pieces of fabric and black pieces of fabric to her dress. And with that, we're going to be using the semicircle shape. And first, we're going to be starting off with the brown. So, the brown that we've been using. And we're going to turn it slightly at an angle. And then you want to make it as spread out as much as you can possibly get it. And then we're going to be moving it up as far as we can. And then once it looks something like this, we're going to copy and paste it onto the other side. And then it's going to look like this. Perfect. And then now we have to cover that little piece of white that's showing. And with that, we're just going to use a square. And then just bring it all the way up. Can probably even like shrink it so it doesn't look as bulky. Alright, so like right there. Perfect. Now that we've done that to the front of the dress, let's do that to the back of the dress as well. We're doing pretty good, guys. We've only been doing it for half an hour. And let's hope that that piece of cream mess glitch is going to be covered up. Okay, so same thing. You're just going to line up and you want to connect it together in a way that it's not going to look noticeable. So just keep stretching out and lining up. So like right there. And once you have that done, you're just going to copy paste it to the other side. Yay, and it covered it up. Woohoo! Alright, so now we gotta cover that little piece of white showing. And I wish we could just use one piece, but again, unfortunately, we have to use two pieces, but maybe I can just stretch it out. No, it's not going to work. Alright, so just use one of those brown squares to cover one side, and then once you have one side covered, just copy paste it onto the other side. Perfect. So we have the back of the dress done to look like the front. Now we're going to add our black layer, and it's just going to be the same thing that we did with the brown. We're just going to take the semicircle, but instead of having it brown, we're going to have it be black. stretch it out as much as we can. Right there, we need to go up a little more. Right there, let's see how that looks. Okay, copy, paste it to the other side. Let's stretch them out more. So let's remove that one. Just because we're trying to use as much fabric as we don't have to use, because we're limited on pieces. So I'm just trying to get as much as that back covered so that I don't have to use a lot of flaps on the back. Okay, right there should be good. So let's copy paste that to the other side. Perfect. And again, we're going to have to cover that area with a piece of black square. So square should already be black, and then we're just going to bring that up to cover the waist part. And I'm going to shrink it just a tiny bit. Right there. And I'm going to back out just to see how everything lines up. Looks pretty good. Kind of want that brown to be stretched out more. But we can always add to it if we need to. Alright, so once we have the front done, let's cover the back part a little bit. So again, just one of these pieces, make sure it's black, and we're just going to connect those like we did with the brown. That looks pretty even, so once we have that done, copy paste it onto the other side. Perfect. Alright, let's back out. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, I think I want just more of the brown showing. Let's see if we can move these down more. Alright, so I want these to be moved down more. So I think like right there. Yeah, so let's move. And again, I'm just going in and I'm just dragging them down. Because I want the brown to show a little bit more than the black is. Alright, not quite even. Let's move up one more. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so that looks pretty good. There's more of that brown showing. But it's not really even on the other side, so. Not that one. This one, yes. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we have to bring the back down as well because we brought the brown down in the front. So let's just do the same thing we did to the front to the back area. Perfect. The other side. Perfect. See how everything looks. Pretty good. Alright, so now we are almost done. We're going to add the black on her back. So let's grab another one of those lines. Bring it all the way up. And this is going to be for the back. And then we can always stretch that out too. Just as far as we need it. I think like right there. Yes, so once we have that side done, we will copy paste it onto the other one. And I don't know why this one always goes higher. But alright, so we have the front and the back side done. Let's add a belt, and then whatever pieces we have left to work with, I will add some of the satin. So for the belt, I'm going to be using Jack's little sign. Okay, so I'm going to be using Jack's little tie, his little bow tie that he has, and this is going to be our belt. Perfect. And we do have 5 pieces of fabric left to use. I think I'm going to use it to cover the white part of the chest. Just because now it kind of looks like, what's the point of having that little white part showing if it's pretty much covered up. And then copy paste it to the other side. And then perfect. But now I think we can move the triangle up a little bit more, that way it's not protruding too far down. Triangle. Yeah, let's move it up just a tad bit more. Maybe like right there, and then just do the same thing to the other side. Right there, perfect. Let's see how it looks. Amazing, it looks really good. I like the way that it came out. So I think we have, how many more pieces left? Let's see. So we have a couple more pieces left. Do I want to add anything? Okay, so let's add some more flourishes, only this time they're going to be black. And I think I'm going to put these two just in the front on the bottom of the dress. Keeps on turning on me, so I'm trying to... Yeah, see, I want it to line up a little bit more. Like right there would be perfect. But see, every time I let go of the joystick, it snaps back. Perfect. Let's copy paste that onto the other side. See how that looks. Looks pretty good. And then I might just do the same thing to the back. I don't know if I like it or not. Let's see if we can make it look ruffly. That's what I'm trying to get the effect of. So let's remove these. And I'm going to see if I can get it to look like it's ruffled. Yeah, so I don't want it to look as like neat on the bottom, so I'm just gonna keep putting a little bit of these. And then probably one over here. And this is just gonna make it look like it's ruffled slightly. See how that looks. Okay, yeah, I like the way that looks because it looks like it's ruffled now, as opposed to straight in the back. And then the same for the black. And this is just going to make it seem like there's ruffles. Change color. Let's go black. No. Okay. Here, do this copy paste to the other side. actually move these up a little bit more. Just so it's not like too noticeable, but it's definitely gonna make that effect. Like, there's ruffles. Okay, now black. Step out. Perfect. Oh, that looks so good. Let's see if we can get a couple on the back. Which I don't know. We can do 2. So let's just do the brown. Do that to the back. Unfortunately, we're not going to have enough to do another brown and then some on the black, but as long as it looks like that from the front, then we're okay with it. But yeah, I think this is the end of our steampunk inspired dress. I like the way that it came out, and it didn't take us very long. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like the way that it turned out. And if you do like the way that it turned out and you like this video and these dress customs, then definitely like the video and subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more of them in the future. And I just want to say thank you to you guys for being here and joining me on this Touch of Magic steampunk inspired dress. But until the next one, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here. Bye, guys.